Hey, how's it going here? I'm going to go ahead and give one more update on my clan boss team setup. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is run my team one more time, and then I will talk about it. The key differences here that I've gone ahead and done is changed to use a stalwart gear. What this is going to end up doing is it's going to lower Turvold's max damage by a small amount. I was able to get almost the exact same stats. I think that he had about 272 crit perhaps, and that's really about the whole difference. Um, so otherwise, his crit rate same. His attack is within 40. Um, Only one cruel, so he's not going to get as much ignore defense. That's essentially the biggest difference. Is that small amount of ignore defense, but the 30% mitigation is definitely prevents unwanted crits that would cause a wipe early. As a point of comparison, I also took my two Banner Lords, my two Septimus. One of them is in lifesteal, and the other one is still in, or is in stalwart. And one is still in lifesteal. Their stats are quite similar as well. Here you'll see the one in stalwart has 3,000 attack, is over 100% crit, 215% crit damage, and 36,000 health points. His defense is 2,200. And if you look at the one I've built that is in lifesteal, he's a little bit lower, maybe about 50 attack points more, 300 more defense, or 250 more defense, I should say, over 100% crit, and slightly higher critical damage. Very, very similar setup. These guys are going to be, um, the key of the damage. I have not changed Martyr, and I have not changed Bad Alcazar. They are still geared in the same fashion. Martyr is still, 52k, 5,000 defense, and pretty mediocre crit rate and crit damage. And Bad Alcazar is still 4,100 defense. I'm trying to find him here. 100% crit, 43k health. So he is also unchanged in this attempts. I'll go ahead and rerun him here, and this will follow the same setup as I normally use. So, we'll start by getting the poisons up, getting the defense and counterattack up, and now we'll start running the extension. You can see their damage is in the same ballpark. One does slightly more, but it's pretty close. And we'll go ahead and hit Turvold here. Now, based on the runs I've done with this so far, it is a little bit more consistent as far as early deaths. So you should expect to see some pretty solid damage. My expectation will be in the mid to high 30s at least. So at this point in time, I've got everything I need up. So I'm just going ahead and hit auto. This should continue to run through in a straightforward manner. For a Turvold setup team, you'll see that the stalwart's pretty well worth it, I would say. That 30% additional mitigation more or less makes up for his lack of damage output. I would recommend this if you're using it with a Valkyrie or Shielder, and I would also recommend it if you're using it with Bad Alcazar or with a another healing strategy such as Leech. Either one of those I think would do really amazing damage, and I'd expect Turvold to stay alive longer than he would normally for you. So definitely worth it. For me, my gear was good enough that I effectively am only trading off 5% ignore damage, and what this and a little bit of crit damage. But what this really means is my max damage I do on on the A3 is I don't know, 17 to 20,000 less. Um, but that's about it. So the trade-off is well worth it because on average he's giving me another 2 to 3 turns or full cycles worth of attacks and 2 additional full cycles of Turvold's damage is a lot of damage. His A3 turn alone is in my current setup between 600,000 and 700,000 damage, and then his other turns, are, I'm gonna just say 200,000 each, probably higher if I get procs. Like in this case, he did about 260. So you can see it's pretty well set up, and we're going to just continue to watch. My expectation at this point is that we will see the Septimus with lifesteal die first on this team, and you can already see he took a good sized hit there. And there he died from a crit. That was actually exceptionally early too. That should affect my damage, unfortunately, but I still expect to have a pretty solid output. You can see the stalwarts holding up. These guys are at 2,500 defense. I mean, we're below 2,500 defense. So you can tell as the turns are ramping up here, they're not really being affected by the, particularly mediocre defense that they have. I mean, still rolling right along. Still squeaking through from a damage perspective. Now I expect that you're going to see my Septimus get killed in the slam. Oh, that's no good. Turvold got out of turn. I lost some potential damage there. Not much though. As you can see, I don't expect to go more than a turn or two more, or I should say a cycle or two more. And even with the real early death, I'm still going to be at 38 or 39 million, depending on how long I am able to go. Alright, I'm going to be at 38 million. So there you go, real solid run. Good damage out of Turvold, real good damage out of Septimus. The second Septimus died really early, otherwise this would have been a 40 million run. But you can kind of get an idea of how sturdy it's making Turvold and my other Septimus now. That's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you have a great day.